In today's video, challenge yourself by making a short speech. Remember, if you want to get better, it's important to practice. Hello, I'm Eric. These speaking practice videos are a series of short presentations made for anyone who is going to take the TOEFL English test someday. But actually, I think it might be useful for any English learner who wants to improve. If you're learning English and you're looking for some practice, I think this might be good for you. The question in today's presentation is related to university life. And actually, on the TOEFL, such questions are really common. So if you are going to take the TOEFL someday, you should definitely be prepared to answer questions like this one. So, if you're ready, let's take a look. Speaking practice, number 2. Today's question: do you agree or disagree with the statement that male and female university students should live in separate dormitories? In this question, you see the word dormitory, and in the U.S., university students in their first or second year usually live in dormitories. These are like simple apartment buildings that are on campus, or very close to the campus. But what do you think? Should males and females live in the same buildings? If this task is on the TOEFL, it's an independent speaking question. You have to explain whether you agree or disagree, and you will have 15 seconds to prepare your speech. Then you have to speak without stopping for 45 seconds. And that's it. Do you think it's easy? Wanna try? Now we'll take a look at the example answer. But if you want to try first, just pause the video and take a little time to think about what you would say. All right? Let's take a look. Example answer: I agree with the idea that male and female university students should live separately, because in my opinion, when people are only 18 or 19, they are still immature, so they may not act correctly when living on their own. I know that some people may believe that university is when young people start to have responsibilities, like adults. But I think each person grows up at a different pace. And when there's a big group of people, especially young people, someone always breaks the rules. For example, when my brother went to university, he said classmates were drinking alcohol and just acting like high school kids. So if males and females were living together, this could become a big problem. What do you think about today's model answer? Like I said before, it asks you to imagine life as a university student. Specifically, living in a dorm, males and females in the same building. Any opinion you have is okay. There's no right answer or wrong answer. Maybe you noticed when I was answering this question that I mentioned personal experience. Sometimes, when you think about these questions, it's hard to get a good idea. A good strategy is to think of people you really know, or to remember situations that are real. When you do this, many good ideas come to mind. Also, don't try to memorize whole sentences. Don't memorize whole speeches. It's not a good idea. Actually, you should sound natural and fluent when you're speaking. But a good idea is to follow a similar pattern every time you practice. This makes your entire speech clear and easy to understand. So, in the next part of today's presentation, we're going to talk a little about that. Speaking pattern. As I have mentioned, to become a confident speaker, like this guy, you have to speak clearly. And that means you should follow a pattern. In my speeches, I start by clearly expressing my opinion. Then I give my reason. After that, I usually mention the opposing reason. And for the rest of the time, I give more reasons with examples, explaining everything as clearly and fluently as possible. Looking at the model answer, this is how it looks. Start by saying your opinion clearly. Then give a reason. Then say the opposing reason. Remember, saying the opposing reason is the only part of this pattern that is not necessary, but I think it's very useful. Then you have to keep speaking with examples. Give details and try to sound as fluent as possible. Then, when we look at the model answer, we can see that the first half sets up a good order. This speech has topic development. Then for the rest of the time, you show how good you are at English. Your answer has automaticity. Cut down the question. Let's talk about how to make a good introduction. If the question is too wordy, shorten or simplify it in your answer. Some questions are a little long or wordy, and although you should repeat the main idea in your answer, you don't have to repeat everything. Here's today's question. Do you agree or disagree with the idea that male and female university students should live in separate dormitories? You may feel confused about how to start your answer because there's some unnecessary words in the question. If you repeat everything, it doesn't sound good. Just make a simple answer. Cut out a few words and then repeat the idea clearly while expressing your own opinion. I agree with the idea that male and female students should live separately. That sounds really good. It's more fluent and shorter, but it still shows that you understand the main idea. Key words. For the topic question, male and female students living in the same dormitory. Immature. An immature person is still childish. Their thoughts and emotions are not completely developed. The opposite is mature. A mature person is completely grown up. If these people here were university students, the ones on the left seem immature, but the ones on the right look very mature. Responsibility. This is a task you have to complete, or a way of behaving that you have to maintain. University students and adults have many responsibilities. Every day, you have to wake up on time, get dressed, wearing the correct uniform, make lunch for your kids, and arrive at work on time. These are responsibilities, and you probably have many more. They're important things that you have to do. Next is break the rules. The opposite is follow the rules. Your teachers and parents, or your boss, I'll tell you the rules. But if you do something else, it's considered bad behavior and you're breaking the rules. However, if you understand the rules and do the right thing, you're following the rules. Finally, from the question, we have the word dormitory. You already understand what this means, but there are other ways to say it. You may hear people say dorm when they're speaking casually, or in documents, you may read the word residence hall. They're all the same thing. Don't forget, try the question for the next video. Here it is. Do you agree or disagree that it's important for young people to learn some domestic skills like cooking, sewing, and taking care of children? If you try to answer this question before you watch the next video, you can compare your answer with mine, and together we'll learn and grow a lot. That's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this information is helpful. Please keep practicing. That's the most important thing. We have a lot more videos coming, and the questions you'll see are pretty interesting. Getting lots of practice answering a variety of questions is not only good mental exercise, but it's the best way to practice. Also, I know everybody watching must have different ideas about answering these questions. And that's great. Please leave a comment below. It will help other students like you, and I'm sure it will start some interesting conversations. Please watch the next video. Tell your friends to watch as well. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and if you think the information is helpful, push the like button. See you next time.